We are back with another episode of Your Palm Beach Guide. I'm Doug Evans. I'm the president and CEO of the Palm Beach Chamber of Commerce, the world's best chamber of commerce as far as I'm concerned, in the best place in the earth to live. Yes, I'm biased. I've not lived here forever, but close to ever, most, but 2/3 of my life, and I love it. It's the most amazing place. And every week we come to you with a different guest, somebody from our local community who is, in my words, amazing. I've known this wonderful lady for a year or so, I guess now. And when she came to my life, I was so thrilled with what she's doing here and this company that she's running here, which is amazing. It's not her company, but when you hear this, you're going to go, oh my gosh, I can't believe this. I've got me Lisa Rectenwald, who is the store director of the most iconic fashion designer when it comes to women's clothes that I think in current history,
yes.
Carolina Herrera.
Yes.
Thanks for coming in today. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you so much.
I mean, I watched what you do at Carolina Herrera on Worth Avenue, the Worth Avenue, which is the avenue of shopping
That's
in
right.
the world, I think, anymore. It's bigger than the one out west in that big city out there and the one up north. It's the city. So Lisa, talk to me. Say, where did you come from?
Yes.
Tell me about your career and moving here. If you've always been here, I want to hear about you first, and we'll talk about Carolina Herrera.
Amazing. Well, first and foremost, thank you so much for having me. And I couldn't agree with you more. I think we live in the best place, and the chamber is definitely the best chamber that I've ever been a part of, and I've been a part of many over the years, different cities that I've lived in, and what you all do with your programming, your community engagement, the events. Honestly, it's been really so invaluable to me and my career, my time here in Palm Beach. So thank you to you and the team at the chamber.
So tell me about your background. Where did you come from? What's your career been like in the industry, the fashion biz, as they say, I guess?
Yeah, I have been so fortunate and so blessed over the course of my career. You know, like many people that that work in retail, I started when I was young, in school. It was like my part-time job, and just always loved fashion. My mom was a bit of a fashionista. My grandmother used to dress me up. We would go downtown to Pittsburgh to see my aunt. Pittsburgh, that's where I'm from. I am. Pittsburgher. So I would get all dressed up and go downtown with my grandmother, and we would go to Saks, and we would go to all the department stores and go shopping. Wow. And I just fell in love with fashion and decided if I were going to do it, I'm going to do it right, and I'm going to work for all the best brands. So I've been really fortunate. Early in my career, I worked for Saks Fifth Avenue, for Nordstrom, and then I started to get into the designer brands. Gianni Versace was my first designer brand. I was really blessed to work there while he was still alive when I lived in Miami, so that was really special.
Amazing.
Worked there for several years. Giorgio Armani I've been with, Louis Vuitton for almost 10 years. John Hardy Jewelry, Richmont Group. I was the director for IWC Watches in Miami Design District. And now Chanel. How could I forget Chanel? And now Carolina Herrera. So it's been a really robust journey, but very rewarding and just a really amazing experience.
I mean, considering you're only 30 years old, you've done a lot in your life, which blows my mind. You talk about downtown core businesses. Where was your first part-time job? Was it a department store in Pittsburgh?
It was I will never forget. So when I lived in Pittsburgh, there was a mall. It's still there. It's called South Hills Village Mall. And there was just a clothing store. I guess it would be the equivalent of maybe a Forever 21 now.
Okay, sure.
It was called American High, and my cousin was the manager. And so,
a little incestuous, that's okay. It's
American High. And my cousin was the manager, and so that's where I started part-time. And then, like I said, I would see all the stores around me and the different fashions, for men and for women, and just really got excited and just decided to pursue it. And after that, I went to Saks Fifth Avenue, downtown Pittsburgh, and started in women's shoes, was selling shoes, and then worked my way up to assistant manager of the fine jewelry department, and then decided I wanted to change. One of my best friends, who was also in the fashion business, she was living in D.C., so she was working for Nordstrom. I went to visit her for a weekend, loved D.C. Yeah. She got me an interview on the spot. They needed an assistant manager of the salon shoe department in Bethesda, Maryland, and 2 weeks later, I packed up my car and moved to D.C., and I spent about 5 years there with Saks Fifth Avenue and with Nordstrom, and then just decided I wanted to live where it was sunny and warm, having grown up in the snow and the cold all of my life, and made my way to South Florida.
And no income tax on top of it all. Look at that right there.
I know.
And you've got to stay here forever now. You cannot leave. You cannot leave. And, you know, it's always beautiful and sunny here. Today it's a little cool.
That's right.
Which people are thrilled with, but now that our blood is thinned out, I'm not particularly one of them. I've got the heat on in my car, believe it or not, in sunny South Florida. So when you think about your experience at American High,
yes.
okay, well, that's interesting. I don't know what that name is. But anyway, you know, and you would go to downtown Pittsburgh. I've been to Pittsburgh many times.
Okay.
I've done consulting work for the Heinz Charitable Trust.
Yes.
And Teresa Heinz, that whole group, you know, I met all of them. I love Pittsburgh, by the way.
It's a great city.
It's a great city. The Pittsburgh Cultural Trust, Carol Brown, who used to run it, my friend Carol, she was there forever, the theaters. It's an amazing place. But fashion has so changed and so evolved. Part of my journey, and I told you this, I ran the Fashion Scholarship Foundation in New York City. So I got to see the backside, the underside, the manufacturing side of the fashion industry. And it's changed dramatically. And I think it's changed for you because you were with the big retailers, the Nordstroms and Saks. I love Nordstroms all the way.
Yes.
Also, by the way, I met the Nordstrom brothers in part of my journey in my life. What a great family.
Such a great family.
And they just are lovely.
They really are.
They're nice people.
It was really an incredible place to work, and I think I learned so much working there, especially from a customer service aspect.
Customer's always right.
I mean, it doesn't get any better.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't get any better.
I shop at Nordstrom's because I know how I'm going to be treated, and they stand behind their product.
That's right.
They're amazing. So you've seen the evolution of fashion and the evolution of your career from the big retailers, somewhat big retailers, to these wonderful, iconic brands. What do you think, because this is your profession, which I love, what do you think has driven the change, Lisa, as far as fashion and people, customers purchasing things? I mean, you've got to have some insight on that I don't have. And why do you think they're doing what they're doing? Because there's online.
Right.
Bricks and mortar, and there's everything in between. So what do you think is happening in the industry? What do you think the trends are, the retail trends?
It's true. I mean, I think so much has changed over the years. As you said, you know, technology first and foremost. I mean, I remember when online shopping first was introduced, and I was very anti-online shopping. I thought, oh my God, this is going to put me out of a job one day. Yeah. You know, my friends and I and my peers, and what are we going to do? You know, and then COVID happened, and I think then we all embraced online shopping because we couldn't go anywhere. We had to, you know, embrace it. And I think also something that I've seen is, you know, the change in generations. So, you know, the younger generations, I think they are very educated in their spending habits and their, you know, purchases that they're going to make. They do a lot of research, where I feel like previous generations, like myself, if I saw something, you know, shiny and beautiful, I bought it. That was it. I didn't think twice about it, you know, as did many consumers and many of my clients over the years. But I do think that people get to a point where how much is enough, right? And especially for people who have been collecting whatever brand it is, you know, for so many years. I've had clients that have said, you know, what else is there for me to buy? Yeah. So then maybe they move on to another designer, but still stay engaged with, you know, their person that they love. But I do see a lot of educated consumers now. They go online, they do the research, you know, then they come in, they try things on. We still have some clients that will purchase right away, and then some need to think about it. And I think the lifestyle has changed also. You know, people, casual Fridays has kind of become a thing now, just all the time. You see the trend in active wear, and I like being dressed up. I think, you know, that's part of fashion, and I think that, you know, you don't always have to have a ball gown to be put together, but it's nice to be put together, you know, have a fresh face and have a crisp shirt on, and, you know, head out to go about your day. So it's really interesting to see, like, the change in patterns, I think. Like I said, you know, we do day wear and evening wear, and we sell an equal amount of both at Carolina Herrera, and you know, I think it's really exciting to see, and it'll be exciting to see what the future generation is. I mean, now we have, you know, all the tweens that are, you know, blowing the business out at Sephora and all the beauty brands, and they're getting into fashion. I remember during my time at Louis Vuitton, we had a couple that came in. They lived in the islands, and they came in with their daughters, who were twins that were 8 years old, and they bought them matching Louis Vuitton luggage. So they started them off early. Yes,
that's a nice sale. That's a good commission.
They rolled out of the store with their roller bags, you know, ready to travel back to the islands. So I think, you know, probably the younger generations maybe see it the same way that I did. You know, I watched my grandmother and my mother, you know, be really into fashion and always looking so glamorous and beautiful.
But see, you said something a little bit ago, which I think we can't forget, and that's the need for human interaction and touch. And I'm the kind of person, I'll buy some clothes online, but I like to feel and touch. I want to see it. I want to talk to the salesperson or the manager, whoever. And I'm older than you, which is fine, but I do buy things online. Certain things I know that, like whatever it is, you're going to go to the store, it's the same price. Just I'd rather have it dropped off at my place and be done with it. Yep. But the human touch, you said they go to their person, their salesperson, they have a relationship. That's really pretty. That's important, isn't it?
It's very important. I think because, pre-COVID, it was very important. And I think post-COVID, it's even more important now because everybody was isolated for so long. People want that human connection. People enjoy that human connection. And, it's more than just a transaction. It's a relationship. You get to know your clients. You know their birthdays, their anniversaries, their kids, their spouses. You go to dinner with them. You go to events. Sometimes you might even travel with them. And I think just building that trust and building that relationship really helps, when you're trying to build your business. Sure. You get to know these people and you make them your family. I mean, I've had clients that, they have my first client at Louis Vuitton, we're still friends to this day. I started back in 2005, and every Saturday she goes to the Voca Mall and she has her stores that she goes to, and then she has her place she goes for lunch, and everybody knows her. And she would, just come by sometimes just to say hello,
Nice.
Bring the kids in. And it doesn't always have to be a transaction that happens that day, but people want to feel valued and they want people to remember their names. And I think in the luxury sector, in any industry, I think it's really important to have those relationships. When
people to people.
When you walk into a business and somebody knows your name, it's a great feeling. I mean, it's an amazing feeling.
And it's the way it's supposed to be. If you just kind of flipped in here now or tuned in on YouTube, wherever you are, I'm Doug Evans. I'm the president and CEO of the Palm Beach Chamber of Commerce. I'm here with Lisa Rectenwald, who is the store director at the one and only Carolina Herrera, right here on Worth Avenue in Palm Beach. I never say downtown Palm Beach. There's no downtown. In Palm Beach on Worth Avenue. So, Lisa, when you talk about this human need, I had a mentor of mine. He ran a little insurance company called Aetna Life and Casualty, CEO, and Ron Compton always talked about people want to pack and clump in three places: church, school, and the mall. The three places. Now, we don't have a mall here in Palm Beach proper, but we have Worth Avenue. Right. And Carolina Herrera, I missed an event many, many years ago. She was being honored at Lincoln Center, New York City, and I couldn't go for some odd reason. I forget what it was. She was honored. Diana Ross sang for 200 people. For 200 people. But tell me about Carolina Herrera. I recognize it when I see it. The ball gowns, the evening wear. I will call it the evening wear. It is stunning. It takes my breath away. Tell us about her history and then why Palm Beach? Because this is new for Herrera, and Herrera's not in a lot of places.
No, we're not. So we have currently 3 locations in North America. So myself on Worth Avenue, and we were the first store to open in 10 years. Wow. Dallas, Highland Park Village, and then on Madison Avenue. Early this year, we will be opening in River Oaks District in Houston. So that's our next location. Yes. Mrs. Herrera, I was fortunate enough to meet her in person. She came for our opening in December of last year. Well, December of 2023, which was really a treat.
It's hard to believe it's been that long. It seems like yesterday.
It does seem like yesterday. Wow. But, she's just fabulous. She came from Venezuela. She was into fashion, started her career in the 80s in New York. And I think the beauty of her fashions, when you put something on by Carolina Herrera, you feel so beautiful. And I think Wes Gordon, our creative director, has really carried that on. He just accepted an award, and he made that comment. He gets to dress women and make them feel pretty every single day. And I think when you put something on that's Herrera, it's effortless, and it's gorgeous, and it's elegant. And anytime I put something on, I'm not fussing. I'm not worried about, oh my gosh, does this look okay? How do I look? Is this my style? You just know. You put it on and your face lights up and your confidence level goes up. And I think there's something special about that. I think, a lot of designers in the industry, especially as design teams change and creative directors change with different brands, you see how fashion can change. It can be the hottest brand one minute and then maybe not so hot the next minute because clients don't respond well to the aesthetic. But I think what Wes has done has been really special. He stayed really true to Mrs. Herrera's vision while injecting, some new life and new designs into the collections. And it's been very, very well received by clients, old and new.
But it's Herrera when you see it.
You do.
There's no question. It's not got a label on it. It's not got not a logo. It's Herrera when you see it. And you can't say that. I can't say that about other fashion brands. Maybe I can think of one or two that it's X or a Y, unless it's got a logo on it. But this is such a remarkable creation on her part that I see it, I'm like, that's Carolina Herrera, period. There's no discussion. And her vision is there. The clients you see coming in now, what do you think? And I've been in your store many times, and it's gorgeous. It's like this beautiful place you want to hang out in, drink champagne, and it's very Palm Beach. It's very Palm Beach. And I mean that in a great way. You walk out, this is the Palm Beach that we all think about in our mind where it is. The people who are coming in there, is it all kinds of ladies? Because you don't have menswear, you have just all ladies, correct?
Right? Yes.
And who's coming in, who's buying, and what are they buying? What are they looking for? I mean, you've seen this evolve now. You've run this place since the day it opened.
That's right.
And I'm curious as to what you think the consumer or the shopper is looking for when they come in to see you.
Absolutely. So, we see people of all ages. So it's really great. I mean, we like to say at Herrera, we can dress all of the generations. So we can dress the grandmother, the mother, the granddaughters. We truly do have something for everybody. As I shared, we have day wear to evening wear. When we first opened, I think a lot of people had a misconception that we were just ball gowns and evening wear. Yeah. And when I have a party, I'll come and buy something. And, as we introduced them to the collections, the separates, I think it was really well received, and it really fits in, as you said, to the Palm Beach aesthetic and the Palm Beach lifestyle. So our ladies, come and purchase clothes to go to their luncheons, to their card clubs, to their dinners, and also to their galas. So we're able to wardrobe them for everything. But it's also nice, as you said, to see, where we have such a dynamic shift happening here in Palm Beach with so many new people and so many young people moving in and people from new industries. And I know some people are happy about it, some people are not happy about it, but it's an exciting time, I think. And it's really exciting to see, some of the new people that are coming in and younger generations and what, their fashion aesthetics are and what their choices are and what they gravitate towards. So it's really thriving right now.
I would assume, because you said, Carolina Herrera addresses all generations. You picked it up from your grandmother and your mother.
That's right.
And as I've lived in this town for a very, very long time, I see mothers taking daughters and grandmothers taking grandkids into the stores to shop, like you've just said. And that's, it's a generational teaching thing. It's a teachable moment. And, you can't buy class.
True.
You can't. And I believe that the people who are moving here, there's a lot of people moving here, are people who really aspire to wonderful things in their lives.
I would agree.
I don't want to say greatness, but greatness can be defined many, many different ways. And the Carolina Herrera brand, when you see it, I see on some, it's like, wow, they've made it.
Sure.
I say, they've made it. They're wearing a Herrera. Oh my gosh, they made it. But also the price points are different. It's not like they're all $1 billion.
Sure.
But you also have accessories.
We do.
And I've seen the tasseled lipsticks and things like that.
Yes.
So it's more than just clothes, correct? What else do you have in the store?
It is. So we have ready to wear. We have accessories. We have wonderful handbags that are very unique to our aesthetic. We have shoes. We have fabulous fashion jewelry. And then we have a bit of beauty as well. So we carry some fragrance. We carry the lipsticks that you mentioned, which are really iconic. They're very fun. They are. I mean, when you see it, you know what it is, and they're really special, and they're great for gifting. So we have a really, really robust collection.
And price-wise, they're great for gifting. It's not like it's a great, wonderful gift, and it's an accessible price.
It really is.
I'd never seen it before. I, for some reason, missed it in your store, and I was there. I've been to your store a dozen times. I actually saw them in Harrods.
Oh, okay.
In London.
Yep.
I'm like, oh, look at that. Oh my gosh. With the little charms that go with them.
That's right.
Which is totally cool. And what's nice about that, I would assume with like the lipstick in particular, you can keep buying the charms?
Yep.
Is that what they're called?
Absolutely. You have the charms, you have the tassels. So what happens is, our ladies come in and they'll pick their shade, and then they customize. We have all different types of prints in the caps. As you mentioned, the tassels, different charms that,
so
are relevant to the brand. We have initials. So it's really fun. You could really go crazy and have a great time.
If you want to impress somebody and you want to, and you don't have $1 billion, get these, and this is impressive. And it's evergreen because you can change things out on it, which I kind of like also.
That's right.
I think so you and I mentioned all the people coming here and moving here. A lot of people are upset that it's growing so rapidly. I think your timing and Carolina Herrera, the powers that be, are really smart to be here. If there was ever a time to be in this region, in this market, in the town of Palm Beach, Lisa, it's now. Do you agree?
I do. I definitely agree. I mean, even just in the year, we opened November 10th, 2023, and just in the time that we've been open, I mean, you can see the evolution already. It's, the new clients that we're meeting. I mean, obviously being a new store, we have a lot of new clients, but we've also have a really, healthy ratio of existing clients. And as I just said, I mean, one of our, clients, she just brought her granddaughter in who's, 10 years old because she's
sweet.
going to a party and needs a little party dress. And so I wish I would have had a Carolina Herrera dress at 10 years old.
Wish I had a grandma who would take me shopping like that too. Come on, Grams,
That's
let's go.
right,
Let's hit
exactly.
it.
But I agree with you. I think it's a really exciting time. And, Wes Gordon, our creative director, I mean, he loves Palm Beach. He loves spending time in Palm Beach. And I think as you see from the design aesthetic of our store, and you touched on something that really was his vision, it is all of our boutiques are meant to be a gatherings place for the women in the community to come and, as you said, sit down and have a glass of champagne or have a glass of tea and, meet with your friends and gather with your friends. It's not meant to be, purely transactional. It's their home.
It's a town green.
That's right.
It's truly a town green by Carolina Herrera, and it's one of those places you want to linger.
Of course.
And even if you don't buy something, I still want to linger there because
That's
it's fun. And, and you're welcoming to everybody, which is nice. I love this. And that's your personality. And Carolina Herrera is so fortunate. I'm not being nice to you because I know they're so lucky to have you.
Thank you.
Because the amount of energy that you put into being in this community is exponentially higher than anybody else. And when you go out to things, Lisa, as the store director, you wear the brand, you look great in it. Do you enjoy that part of your role of being out in the community? It's in addition to all those hours you have on Worth Avenue, but do you enjoy it?
That is actually probably my favorite part, and it always has been, like throughout my career. I'm a social butterfly. I'm a people person, and I think that's part of the reason also why I got into retail. I tried being in an office and doing spreadsheets and sitting at a computer, and it was not for me. I was ready to rip my hair out. So I enjoy being with people again, relationships. And for me, when I come into a new area, maybe somewhere that I haven't been before, or even when I start with a new brand, like I immerse myself in the community. And I think, you have to from a personal and a professional perspective, but you need to get to know who the people are that are walking through your door. I mean, I utilize local publications, open up the magazine, who's who, what are the events that we're going to. Palm Beach Illustrated, I'll give them a little plug. I love their charity register. They're amazing, and that charity register is fantastic because you see all the events that are happening, all of the people. So I think, it's very rewarding, and it's so nice to be able to also spend time with these people outside of the store, right? Because when they come into the store, that's one dynamic. But when you see them outside of the store, whether you're at the Norton or you're at a charity event, wherever you are, it's really refreshing and rewarding.
Well, and it also has to be sincere.
Correct.
If it's transactional, people know it.
That's right.
And they know you're showing up just because you want to sell something. But I've observed this in you because when you go to events, and you and I have been to a lot of social events over the last year or so, where it's not a sales thing. It's fun.
That's it.
It's just fun, and you're there because you want to be there, not because you have to be there. It's a big difference. And there are very few people in your field that I have observed take that tact, that understanding, that feeling, embrace I want to go because it's fun.
Absolutely.
I have to root for Carolina Herrera, and maybe they'll come buy something, but that's not why I'm here.
Yep.
But that presence. So you are a member of the Chamber of Commerce. You are a trustee of the Chamber of Commerce, which we love. Thank you for doing that. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
The trustee program, for people who are watching and listening, it's invitation only. It's limited to 80 people out of all the hundreds of thousands of people, a million people. It's 80 people. That's it. And you come to 6 lunches per year, plus some private events at some very special private clubs that,
that's right,
unless you've got lots of money, you can't have access to, which is also fun, by the way, also.
It sure is.
Terrific. Lisa, I get chills. I'm so honored you're here.
Thank you so much.
I'm thrilled that Carolina Herrera is here. I know they're going to continue to build on the success of what you have built from the ground up, the day one with no clients to the huge successes to the buzz on the street. I love that you're on Worth Avenue, and I love having you here as a person.
Thank you so much.
And I hope that with Carolina Herrera and you as your career, you stay here forever.
Absolutely.
And make Palm Beach your permanent home. So it's all good. You've been listening to Doug Evans, and I'm with Lisa Rectenwald, who is the store director of Carolina Herrera. This is your Palm Beach guide. It's a project of the Palm Beach Chamber of Commerce, and we'll be seeing you this next week. Thanks so much.